Wild Calling came about because the Peterson family, Tim and his sons, Jeremy and Trevor, actually were in dog food for a very long time, and they actually saw a trend going in dog food that they wanted to do it different. They saw people going holistic movement, and they wanted to make a food that actually matters. So Wild Calling was made in the pure image of nutrition, so that's why we call ourselves the Art of Nutrition. With our dog food and the different protein sources, we could do a simple, this and this and this chicken, but we wanted to bring unique proteins because, every protein has their different qualities, and why not, feed a little bit more wild? The elk, the lamb, the duck, the trout. Definitely bump up the protein sources to, really get your dog interested and you interested in the food you're feeding. Since we really address nutrition, we do grain-frees, but we actually do a grain-free that matters. So we actually vary up our carb sources to be short, medium, and long-lasting carbs. So your dog isn't just getting a big rush of energy and then a crash. So we really wanted to limit the amount of sugar spikes in their diet. So it's really getting to the next meal so they're not getting just a flood of sugar at one time. I have 2 dogs. Mr. Ralph is a Chiweenie, and then Dingo is a little bit special case. He's an Australian cattle dog, and he is an Australian cattle dog to a T. Whiny, needy, hyper, but lazy at the same time. He's actually on the Rocky Mountain as well. That's where I like the higher protein, higher meat inclusion. But actually his favorite is kangaroo, because I call it the food of his people, because he's a Australian cattle dog, and I actually cannot keep it in the house. Like if I have samples, I actually have to keep it in the garage or the basement, because if I leave it out for him, he will actually eat the bag and everything to get into it to eat it. The biggest problem with dogs nowadays is that they're overweight or diabetes. Up to like 70 to 85% of companion dogs have some kind of obesity or diabetes, which is a huge thing. So, and it really comes down to the dog food. What are you feeding? How much meat? What are your carb sources you're giving your dog? And it all plays into it. We really just go into the nitty-gritty of, getting what you pay for, and really it's enough there nutritionally to matter. We don't try to put in a bunch of fluffy stuff to make it look good on an ingredient panel. It's enough there to matter in nutrition, because that's what we're feeding our dog for, is their nutrition and their well-being.